What's going on, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another epic comic book campaign here. So this is part 2 of my travels to several comic shops while on work. And so this is part 2, and if you haven't watched the first part, you can go ahead and watch this one and then go back and catch the first episode. Or you can pause this one because I'm not taping this one live like I generally do. I'm just taping it a little bit later as I got to the hotel and didn't want to go live this late at night at the time of my recording, and decided I'm going to drop this video the next day when I'm actually on the trail to the third day of this 3-day part. So starting out the day, was able to hit up a comic shop where I actually went to for the Clayton Crane signing. It's a comic shop in a little old town called Baldwin, Mississippi. Yeah, you probably have never heard of it. But Baldwin, Mississippi is about 20 miles north of Tupelo. Oh, thank you very much. That's right, the birthplace of Elvis. So Baldwin, Mississippi, if you might remember, is the place where Clayton Crane, of all people, show up to do a signing. So I went to the shop and was able to get in. I was the only guy there. Nobody else was there. Got a good chance to talk to the owner again. I talked to his wife when I was there at the Clayton Crane signing. Seemed to be really nice people. Shout out to them. But yeah, we had probably an hour-long conversation just talking comics and artists and stuff like that. So it's great when you're able to stand around and talk to people about some comics. Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience today. And to make it even better, I found some goodies too. So that's definitely a big plus. And so let me show you what I found from Underground Comics in Baldwin, Mississippi. He was telling me that he's got some more signings in store. And so definitely check them out. I know that they're on Facebook. I don't do Facebook, so I'm not familiar with that, but they are on IG, and they don't post that much there, but you can probably reach them. And so there you go. Was able to dig through. He's got several different things. He's got his new stuff. Obviously, that's cover price. The stuff that's like several months out, but still considered new, is half off. And then he has a box of price stuff. And then he's got a box. They're not dollar bin books, but some places they would be dollar bin books. But they're $3 each. So they're still not very expensive. And I was able to find some nuggets in the middle of there. First off, we've got Wolverine half. So back in the day when Wizard was a big thing, you even had the certificate of authenticity. Now this one does not have the little Wizard branded bag that typically come with these, but it does have the COA for whatever that's worth. Now I do have the normal one of these already, but this one is the foil edition. So I was able to pick that one up for $3. This is Wolverine 100. This is the newsstand regular edition of that, because there is one that has a hologram, which I already had, but was able to pick up the newsstand of that. Cerebro's Guide to the X-Men. This is another Wizard release from back in the day. If you're younger and you don't know what Wizard was, it was a comic book price guide. Some people thought it was the bane of comic book existence, but it was really cool to every month be able to read the stuff that they put out, and largely Wizard drove the market, by saying, hey, these are the hot 10 books, before you could just find it out on an app, or before Al Gore invented the internet. So there you go. Also got Extreme X-Men #1, just because I don't collect Extreme X-Men like I do most of the main X titles, but we had Rogue on the front cover. It's a #1. It was $3. Can't go wrong. X-Men, this is volume 1 if you count Jim Lee's start, and that's as volume 1. This is the annual from '97. this was the one annual. If you saw video one, you saw that I got the other two that I was needing in this yesterday. So now I have all the annuals from X-Men Volume 1. I was also able to pick up the Pizza Hut collector's edition with the Wolverine on the front cover. Now I have the one with Rogue and Gambit on the front cover already. This one is actually still in the poly bag, and so this is that little golden hair is actually Sabretooth, Goldilocks, right? And it looks like they're fighting in the Savage Land, so you collect all four. There's one that's got Cyclops and Bishop, and I forget who the other one is. Leave the comments down below if you know who it is, but offhand I can't remember. But so that was pretty cool. X-Force Annual 99. So this is the next to the last one of these annuals of X-Force 1. I have all the first set of X-Force 1 from Rob Liefeld's start all the way up to the end with Mike Allred's take on the new X-Force team. And then this is one of the last annuals I needed, so I only need one more. I think it's 98 I need. Then I've been picking up a lot of these nostalgia toy / cartoon pickups lately. I've got my Transformers 1 at CGC right now, and hopefully it will be graded soon. Picked up the Willow series, which is not a TV series or a cartoon, but it was from my childhood, and now it's got options, so it might be worth a lot of money now. But plan on picking up the Thundercats. And so just been picking up some of these, and this is Silverhawks #1. So this is a $3. Ironically enough, when I was up the Clayton Crane signing earlier this year, this guy had a copy of Silverhawks. I think it was a newsstand edition, but another guy picked it up before I did. So I was glad to pick that up for $3 because they can go for more than that, and this is a really clean copy of this. But Silverhawks, really cool series, didn't really last all that long. But Silverhawks is the air version of the Thundercats world. So the Thundercats are on Earth, Silverhawks are in the air, and then they had Tiger Sharks, which was in the water. Maybe you knew that, maybe you didn't. So Thundercats is more well known, then Silverhawks, and Tiger Sharks is in obscurity till the internet came around. So then we've got Wolverine #1. This is Volume 3, if you count the miniseries as Volume 1. This is the first full volume, or Volume 2. So got a little mixed up here. 177. Then back to the other series here. With Wolverine #2 and #5. Was able to pick up something more than just $3 books from there. This is the Batman the Killing Joke, this 7th print. It looks almost just like the 4th print, I believe, which I already had, but the cover is a little bit lighter. I think there's a change with the little cuffling. Amazingly, how many comics they printed of each of these back in the day that they had to go to so many printings. It really goes to show how well received it was because they printed just so many copies of it. Got these, and these were in the priced box. And when people have to price, I always hate it, kind of cringe, because I can just see here comes the eBay or whatever. But looked it up, $10 a pop. Couldn't go wrong with a little Silver Age Batman, $196, and then also $168. Silver Age goodness. Then I picked up Batman Adventures Continue #3. Really cool Batgirl cover. Been seeing this, been eyeing it, kind of, should have picked it up, should have not. And he had a set. I didn't want both of them, and I was okay with the trade dress, and so he split the set for me, and I got one of them. Then I got X-Force 13. I think this is the first appearance, or at least first cover appearance of Solemn, this character right here, who's got adamantium skin. The interesting, I already had the Alex Ross Timeless variant, which is Beast for this cover, but I've been seeing that these were kind of getting expensive, so this was for cover price. So I picked it up, and also picked up this one, which is another alternate cover to that. Then picked up Avengers 37, which is the end of the Fist of Khonshu. As you saw in my last video, I picked up one of the other numbers in that run. Then we've got Powers of X number 5. So again, yesterday you saw where I picked up the Rogue version and was looking for this one but didn't see it. There's several different X-Men, the Storm, Jean Grey, Cyclops, they all have versions of Wolverine. They all have versions of this, but I thought this would go well with my Gambit and Rogue collection. That one was half off of cover, so cover's $5, so pay $2.50 for it. Then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 102, so this was half off as well. I think this is the first or second appearance of Mona Lisa, but that is the Eastman cover of that. Then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 99, so half off of that. This is one of the timeless variants that my shop didn't have. I'm not a big fan of Iceman these days, just because they assassinated his character. Long story, not going to go into it. I go into it enough. But yeah, this is really cool. Alex Ross. I've been getting the Alex Ross ones, trying to contain myself mostly to the X-Men, but I also picked up in yesterday's video, which again, if you haven't seen it, you can go back and catch it now or later. But so I picked up the Spider-Woman one and the Hulk one. I got the She-Hulk one, it was kind of one of those deals, but yeah, so trying to pigeonhole myself to the X-Men. I need to pick up the Storm one because that's one I have missed out on. Also got Vampire State Building number 4. Now, I used to have this series. It was a pretty good series. Picked them up single issues, but this is an homage to the Days of Future Past cover of X-Men fame, and so that's why I picked this one up. So after sitting there and talking with the owner of the shop an hour and a half, I said, hey, look, I got to get back to Tupelo because I wanted to go to Bratz Comics. So Bratz Comics, it appears, because I think the other shop is now closed, which was more of a magic card deal. And if you're from Tupelo or from this area, feel free to comment down below if I'm missing out on something, but this is what the Google says. So they had moved, or have moved, since the last time I was in their shop, and they have a lot more room now. He had told me, one of the owners that is, last time that they had a lot more stuff to put out, just not the room. Now they're in a different place, and so they were able to kind of spread the wings a little bit. Boy, did I pick up some heat here. Unfortunately, it was just one of these workers that was just there, and he was more interested in watching Spider-Man on the TV or talking to his buddies than talking comics to me. Didn't hurt my feelings, but it certainly was not the same experience as what I had at Underground Comics in Baldwin. Now, having said that, I got just as big of a stack and probably some more heat there than I did at the other place. And so, hey, what did I go for? Did I go for the fellowship or did I go for the comics? So, it's good if you can have both your cake and eat it too and all that kind of jazz. But if you can't, then, you just kind of work with what you got. So, work with what I got. So, I've been trying to kind of pigeonhole myself in collecting this Batman Volume 1 to the 300s. Because I have everything in the late 370s to the end of 713. And then, of course, I have a lot of the early ones as well. But let's get the 300s down, and then we'll work on the 200s, and then we'll work on the 100s. As you saw a while ago, I picked up some 100s when they're the right deal. But I don't want to go out searching for them. So trying to focus down. And if I have to make a choice of, hey, do I get this or do I get that, I generally let those things go to try to focus on what I'm really trying to focus on. So this is 376. So this was one of the ones that I needed. Picked it up for 7 buckaroos. Then I picked up Archer and Armstrong number 12, little Barry Windsor Smith goodness. Knew I had to throw a little Valiant in here somewhere. And so I was able to pick up 12, 16, and 17. So those were the last ones I needed. So ding, 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 ding. I completed my Archer and Armstrong Volume 1 set today. Booyah! Then was able to make a big run at finishing up my Wolverine Volume 2, or the first full run of Wolverine with 164. As you saw, I got some of them at Underground, but got a big run here as well. And paid $4 bucks. The stickers are on there. So this is actually a newsstand. And so that's pretty cool, considering how late of a newsstand that one is. But that's 165, 166, 167, little Barry Windsor Smith goodness there. 168. I was able to pick up Batman 378. So I've got one of the 370s. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's 374 maybe. That's the only one I need to have all the 370s. I've got all the 360s already, and so then it'll be on to the 350s. But yeah, so picked this one up, and then also got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the last issue, the foil version of that. So I'll be checking that out and see what I think about the new Green Ranger, right? Also got Wolverine 154. So this was one of those times my gut was telling me the right deal, because this was at the first shop that I went to. And so most of the books in this latter run of Wolverine, because I've got issue -1, or the half, as you saw earlier from the Wizard, all the way to the one, this is 150. So I had the 151, 152. And then you had these two Rob Liefeld issues. So you have this one, then you got the one where it's kind of an homage to Hulk 340, where Deadpool's holding the sword and Wolverine's in the reflection of the sword. And they were like 20 bucks a piece at Underground. And I was like, I want to complete my run, but I don't want to pay 20 bucks for those issues. So I waited, found this one for $8. Still a little more pricey, but these are a little more valuable than the other ones are. So just need to get that 153 now. Got 159, 169, 171, 174. Cool David Finch cover there. 176. The Fist of Khonshu, number 3. And number 4. So that completed that second run of Moon Knight, which was titled The Fist of Khonshu. So that completed that set for me. Then we got the adaptation of Return of the Jedi number 2 and number 3. So I already have number 4. So the only one I need now is number 1. And these are probably the pickups, because I was going through there. I was digging in them dollar bins trying to find some buried treasure there. They really didn't have a big selection of new books at either shop, but in particular at Bratz, and which is understandable, because they probably know their customer. You know, if their customer's not looking for new books, they probably got a pull list and try to keep that to a minimal, because if you go into a shop that has a huge backlog of books, new books, and it shows a sign that they bought a whole bunch of stuff and put a bunch of money into it and didn't get their return on investment as of yet, which is very, very troubling. So I was going through the back issues and the like, come across this, and the great thing was they were mostly in numerical order. So I'm like, oh, there's one I need. Oh, there's one I need. And then I'm like, oh man, this one's not there. But I kept on going through, and we're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Mirage series. And so, as you might be aware of, I've been trying to organically collect these. So that means that let chance be chance, whether it's me in a comic shop or me on a YouTube auction or me on Instagram, it doesn't really matter. But I'm not going to eBay or mycomicshop.com or any of those places like that and purposely saying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this issue. To me, because my Uncanny X-Men run, all 5 volumes, or even most of my X-Men main title runs that I've got now, it was a mixture. And so I feel like it takes longer, but it is more fulfilling, especially like when you physically are able to lay your hands on it. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody's fortunate to be able to go to various comic shops and hit them up and all that kind of stuff. And so, I mean, I get it, but to me, this is just me, and that's what I'm collecting for, is me. If some other people can have some enjoyment in it, then great for them. But, we're collecting for me here. So these were the Mirage, and then they had the Archie series in there mixed in. And so I'm like, oh man, this one's missing. Well, I just kept on looking, and well, this one's out of order. And I was able to find these. And so we got issue 46. And if you saw my video yesterday, you saw that I got 2 of the latter issues. Issue 20, issue 39, and issue 41. So now, if I'm just numerically speaking, not talking about the second and third prints of some of these, or like I've got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, third, and I got a 4th print, but I don't have first and second print, which is really pricey. Don't know if I'll ever get a chance to get those, but hey, I didn't think I would get a chance to get an X-Men 1 or Giant Size X-Men 1, but we'll leave that to the cards. But so if you're not counting those extra prints, I'm only 3 books away from completing the whole run. So the books that I need now are issue 2, issue 3, and issue 62. So the second and third, and then the last issue, 62. And so really, really close to making that happen. Ironically enough, was talking about Whodhat posting a 2 or a 3, forget which issue it was, but he was posting one on Instagram, and he said, hey, I'm fixing to be sending these off to CGC, these are doubles. And I said, man, quit being greedy, man, I need to get one of those things. And he goes, well, we'll talk when I get back. Great. Okay, well, that means they're going to be more expensive, right? So somebody that was selling one on Jay Blitz's channel last night says, hey, I'm putting one of these up. I'm like, cool. So when I got back to the hotel room, after I got off of filming the going live and showing my first episode of this comic book run, I got on the auction. So he had a lot of people, Jay Blitz did, to get through. And so every time I come around, I'm like, is he going to show it? Is he going to show it? No, he's not going to show it. Man, I was starting to get tired. I went ahead and went to sleep. I said, screw it. It'll probably go for way more than I want to go for. So went to sleep, woke up this morning, and I had a message from Jay Blitz. And he's like, dude, man, this TMNT 3 is coming up. And I'm like, I fell asleep. Looking at the time, I didn't miss it by terribly much, but nevertheless, I missed it, right? And I was like, I messaged him back and I said, dude, I fell asleep. He said, yeah, I kind of figured that. And it went for crazy low money. He said $60. I said, like, no way. You're pulling my leg. You're just trying to give me a hard time because I missed it. And he said, no, I'm serious. So this is the second time that particular book has eluded me. Number 3, that is. which is the issue with the van on the front cover. There's a couple of variants like misprints and coloring problems or whatever like that, but just talking about the main one. So this is the second time that book has eluded me. The first time was JB over on Discovery Bay was having an auction to benefit, I believe, children with cancer. And this one went up. So I got the number 1 fourth print from that auction. Kind of overpaid for it, but it was for a good cause, and so, whatever. Well, this one came up. I said, boom, I'm fixing to get this one too. MLV Comics, shout out to him for hitting 100 subscribers here recently, and check his stuff out over there. But he dropped the hammer on it. I'm like, I'm out. And then, of course, it was for way more than just $60, like I told you, the one that was for sale on Jay Blitz's channel. But yeah, so this is the second time that one's eluded me. So maybe that means that there's an even better deal waiting around the corner for me. One can hope, right? So that's the one with the van on it, and then the Mouser with the reflection of the turtles is the issue number 2. So we'll see. I've seen both around. I don't know that I've seen any in person for sale. I've seen them around on auctions and that type of stuff, but I have not seen yet is a 62, the last issue. And so just like those number 1s and the first couple prints of the TMNT are fairly rare, especially in good grade, because of the low print runs, the latter issues are much the same way. Especially in the latter issues, they have these black borders, which were notorious, or still are notorious, for spine ticks. And I guess they were wrapping it up. People were wrapping it up. I was like, screw it, turtles are done. But yeah, so we'll see. So tomorrow, or today, depending on when you're watching this, I'm going to be doing the final leg of my tour before I head home. So the plans is to, I got to meet up with Big Will, and I'm going to be going to Creamer Cash Comics, who Amber Keys sells on Jay Blitz's auctions. Her comic shop up in very, very north Alabama. And then I'm going to come back down and hit up Haven Comics. Josh from Haven Comics, hopefully you'll be there. But you've seen that or heard of that comic shop from Two Brothers Comics, because that's the one that Nick in particular uses, because he's from this area up here. I had planned on hitting up the comic shop here in Florence, Tabletop Gaming, I believe is what it's called. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen because I have to meet Big Will before. So I'm here in Florence tonight. I have to meet Big Will tomorrow, so I can't come back to Florence and go back up to Creamer Cash and then back down, because I need to get home by a certain time tomorrow afternoon or evening by the time I get home. And so again, I don't think that's going to happen. If I do have enough time, however, when I'm over at Haven, I might go hit up the Deep. Rockin' Robbie Billups works at the Deep there in Huntsville, which is a really big store. I've been to it before. So the other two that I just mentioned, I've never been to before. Obviously, I'm not opposed to going to comic shops that I've been to before, but a lot of times, the gems are to be found at the shops that you never visited before, because you've never been able to mine those diamonds, so to speak. So that's kind of the schedule. So this was a little bit different because I didn't do it live, so none of the interaction inside the chat, which I do hate that I missed. But leave your comments down below. I do want to make a plug for Saturday, October the 24th at 11 o'clock Central Time. I'm going to be going live to give away my 500 subscriber giveaway prize, which is an Uncanny X-Men number 11, the first appearance of the Stranger. Now, it is a low grade, but if you're an X-Men collector in particular, it's going to be one that you're going to want to get in the PC, and you can win it. You don't even necessarily have to be a subscriber to the channel. I'm not going to verify you, but I would ask that you would be one. But you just have to be in the chat when I give it away. And so whoever comes in there, I'm going to put you on the rigged wheel, so to speak, and we're going to spin it. And if you're still there and you claim the book after your name is called, or if your name is called, then you can win it. I'll probably also be giving away some other things. So at that time, and I'm also going to then be announcing what you need to do in order to enter to win the 600 subscriber giveaway, which is going to be in New Mutants 98 9.4 CGC Slab, first appearance of Deadpool with a Deadpool pop. And I will be revealing the details on that at that time. That will not be a long stream. Probably last 30 to 45 minutes. I am going to have some guests, so be sure to show up for them at least and see who those are going to be. And then at 1 o'clock, I will be doing the Saturday morning Cartoon Crew auction, and I'm going to have a lot of new stuff, especially Spider-Man stuff. For those of you who visit my auctions, I will be sending notifications out. And then if you like Spider-Man, come check it out and get some deals on the cheap for myself or any of the other Saturday morning Cartoon Crew. Probably going to be on Shortbox Padawan's channel, but I'm not sure yet. But again, for those of you who have purchased, or for those of you that follow me on Instagram at Southern Comic Geek, all one word, then you'll be notified of that stuff as well. So a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully, y'all are just as busy into comics. Hopefully you've been able to get to your comic shop and pick up your new Comic Book Day books, or at least the new to you Comic Book Day books, and been able to read some. I know that I enjoyed the ones that came out. This was a big week, and I was able to read them last night. So a lot of good reading material this week, and next week's going to be a big one too, with The Last Ronin and the Three Jokers and all that other kind of stuff coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. But leave the comments down below. Tell me what you think about my pickups. What are you picking up? What did I miss? Is there some new, my new stuff, new Comic Book Day stuff was mainly in the video yesterday. So go check that one out and tell me what books I should be picking up. But hopefully everybody is staying safe out there, reading some good books. As Bill and Ted says, be excellent to each other. And until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.